Greetings Game Watchers, I'm Chris Capel and welcome to this PC review of Dishonored 2. It's been 15 years since Corvo Attano cleared his name, stopped a conspiracy and returned to the role of Lord Protector under the new young Empress Emily Caldwin, his daughter. Unfortunately, the nefarious Duke Luca Abel of Serconis and Witch Delilah from DLC The Brigmore Witches stage a coup, ascend Delilah to Empress and force your character to flee Dunwall for Karnaca, the capital of Serconis. The storyline is pretty straightforward but works well to set things up, although anyone who hasn't played the two DLC expansions to the first game will feel a little left in the dark as the plot references them a lot. If there's one initial disappointment I had with Dishonored 2, it's the choice forced on you right at the beginning. This time there are two player characters, Corvo and Emily. I presumed before release that we'd be able to go between the two during the game, but instead you just have to choose one at the start and you'll stay with that character for the entire game. Bit of a shame, but not a deal breaker. The varied gameplay is what made Dishonored so compelling, and it's been further enhanced to perfection in the sequel. While ostensibly a stealth game where you sneak around parts of the city of Karnaca searching for your goal, there's a lot of freedom in gameplay. Not that fond of stealth? You can use a range of combat skills and magic powers to zip through, murdering every guard and then explore at will. Don't want to kill anyone? You can knock out or evade literally every character. Want a pure stealth or action experience without any fancy magic powers? You can tell the mysterious outsider who gives you your powers to sod off and play the game powerless. This freedom goes for objectives too. If you can't get somewhere, like a locked door, electrical wall of light, nearly every time there'll be another way through that obstacle. Every target can either be assassinated or removed in a non-lethal manner. While all these things were in Dishonored, they have been perfected in the sequel. I felt with the original that Arcane were experimenting a lot and didn't really tailor the levels accordingly. Dishonored 2 is far better designed in every aspect. Lethal assassinations of targets will often require planning, but non-lethal neutralizations will require eavesdropping, exploring, buying hints, etc., and could possibly yield greater rewards. Stealth is deeply satisfying, and despite not having the shadows equals invisibility mechanic most others go for, it's well coded and feels like a proper thief at times. Action is similarly excellent and tough, with new hardware allowing dozens of enemies on screen to attack you at once, and more challenging enemies like witches and the amazing clockwork robots, really forcing you to keep on your toes. The powers are really just the icing on the cake and complement both styles excellently should you choose to use them. The levels themselves are wonderfully designed. While it is an open world and you can't go back to old areas, the levels are pretty free roaming and with so many ways to complete them. I was really exploring and I still know that I missed entire swaths of the game. Better yet, the variation in the levels is superb. Each part of Karnaca feels unique enough, but things get even better once you ride the rail to an actual place. About a museum filled with ghost dogs and witches with similar powers to yourself. A puzzling mansion where rooms can change at the pull of a switch, patrolled by giant clockwork robots. Or a manor where your powers are disabled and instead you get to travel backwards and forwards in time. They're all insanely imaginative, force you to play with your abilities and make you think outside the box. One thing I didn't like though regarding the level design were the city sections. Karnaca never feels like a real city that you're exploring. Since you can't travel between areas, lots of it is locked off, and there aren't many civilians wandering about. The mission locations actually do feel believable, but anytime you have to navigate Karnaca to get to one of those locations, the game feels far more artificial, with loads of barriers getting in your way. One thing I am obligated to mention are the performance issues. Since its release, Dishonored 2 has gone down as an incredibly badly optimised game, or a buggy mess as we called it. The game is sitting on a mixed rating on Steam due entirely to how badly it runs on a great deal of systems, with even those seemingly higher than the recommended specs suffering tremendous slowdown. Unfortunately, our own performance test, which you can find on our YouTube channel, on our personal PC with AMD FX 6300 6-core processor, 16GB of RAM, an Nvidia GTX 9600 4GB graphics card and Windows 10 64-bit, didn't encounter any problems at all, even when running the game on TXAA and Ultra settings. Indeed, the only slowdown we encountered came with opening menus and slow loading times. While we couldn't replicate them, please be aware that these performance issues do exist, and it might be worth waiting on a patch if you haven't already purchased the game. For a while I was trying to work out whether Dishonored 2 was a great game because it's just more Dishonored, or is it actually better on its own terms. A large portion of what makes Dishonored 2 such a compelling game is indeed down to its foundation, but overall yes, it is better than Dishonored. The storyline has less twists, but is much more compelling. The choices are much wider and more open, so each one is equally satisfying, and most importantly, Dishonored 2 has some of the best level design of any game I've ever reviewed. Every mission location has been carefully crafted to allow free gameplay decisions, whether you want to go assault or full ghost stealth, feel believable, and be incredibly fun no matter what. Enemies offer a challenge, there are plenty of secrets, and there's a lot of replay value even before the promised New Game Plus mode launches. You can blitz through in 5 to 7 hours, or like me, you can try to see everything and take 20 to 30 hours, and you'll still have another unique character to try after the credits roll. It may feel just like more Dishonored, but Arcane have improved everything they could have, and made a truly satisfying sequel. We just hope it's not the last. In the end, we gave Dishonored 2 a great score of 8.5. While it does have performance issues on many PCs, and a few other minor problems, it's still a truly excellent sequel. Thanks for watching guys, Chris Capel and GameWatcher, out.